Hi guys, it's Wendy here from Wendy Wise Beauty. Thanks for stopping by. I hope it is not raining as much where you are in the world as it is here. We are having a very miserable autumn this year. I am going to do part 2 of a video I did a couple weeks ago, which I did call Middle Eastern Classic Fragrances, or really Lattafa, you know. These fragrances are not classics by industry standards, yeah, but a lot of these Middle Eastern brands, they are dropping fragrances so often, and sometimes more than 10 fragrances a year, because they all have subsidiaries. A fragrance which has been on the market for 2 years already, it's not spoken about anymore, and a lot of times forgotten. So I got into lately of picking up some of the older fragrances which are 4 or 5 years old, to see if I could find some little treasures. So I already did part 1, and this is part 2 of the video. Today I have 5 fragrances. Guys, do not forget to like and subscribe and send me some comments. I do need a lot more friends here on YouTube. I really would like to have a very interactive channel where you write me about the fragrances you are trying. Do you think I should try other fragrances? Honestly, this channel is really my hobby. I have loved fragrances as long as I can remember. So I am always very genuinely interested in your thoughts, your impressions of fragrances that I am reviewing. I did look at some new makeup that I will be reviewing soon. I am trying to use a lot of my foundations because I do have a lot of them at the moment. And in the last, I would say, year or so, a lot of the makeup on the market, it is nothing new, a lot of repeats. So I have not been buying a lot of makeup. But the foundation from Dolce & Gabbana, it did capture my attention, and I do love their makeup products. So this review will be coming up soon. With that said, I am going to get into this video, which is about classic Lattafa fragrances. The first fragrance I am going to talk about, it is this one here. This fragrance, I have been wanting to pick this up for the longest time. It was sold out on the Lattafa website when they had a sale last year, so pick this up from another perfumery here. However, it's called Ekhtiari, and the notes are very inviting, so I had to review this one for you guys. Also for me, the price point was unbeatable. This one, it is costing 15 euros. This is also another good aspect of these older fragrances from Lattafa, because a lot of them are in the price range from, I would say, 11 to about 15 euros. So I thought if I could find some gems and pass them on to you guys, that would be added value. This is Ekhtiari. The bottle, it is stunning. And look at this, guys. There are these granules in this bottle. It almost looks like poppy seeds. And the top, it is glass. And this is a mesh silver design. The bottle, it is quite heavy. And I think the packaging, it is quite nice. Ekhtiari, it is marketed as unisex, and this came out in 2019, and it was marketed as a unisex aromatic fragrance. I think unisex is probably pushing it a bit. Guys, I have been to Dubai, the UAE, and I do realize that in the Middle East, what is considered to be masculine, feminine when it comes to fragrances, it is not the same as in the West. But what I would like to say is that in terms of Western taste, this is leaning to my nose extremely feminine. With that said, fragrances are very subjective, so if you like it, why not? Ekhtiari, the top notes are mandarin orange and fruits, and the heart is jasmine and gardenia, and it is on a base of musk, vanilla and tonka bean. I did like Ekhtiari right when I sprayed it. It is floral, it has structure, it has body. It was not, you can say, a very frou-frou fragrance. Right when I smelled it, I said, oh, this is a good one. Actually, this one really surprised me. Some of the older Lattafa fragrances, they can have a very Middle Eastern signature, but this one, it is very Western in feel. This has a very strong department store DNA. The opening of Ekhtiari, it is a bit fruity, but what I couldn't understand is the opening versus the notes. When I sprayed this the first time, I got very nice orange aromas, but what was very pronounced, it is a very earthy aroma. It is the type of note where I would expect there to be some kind of herbal accord, maybe ambrette, or definitely patchouli. It does not list any kind of patchouli, but to my nose it is there, and this is what adds a lot of structure, a lot of body. It turns this into a very serious fragrance. It could be that some of the other notes combined could mimic this, because it does not say what the fruits are. It just says mandarin orange and fruits. But there is definitely a very nice dose. I shouldn't say definitely, it's not written, but from what I can smell, there is a nice dose of earthy patchouli in this scent. However, as the fragrance unfolds, when it opens a bit more, there is quite a dose of musk, and then the floral notes, they start to come out. The heart, it is composed of jasmine and gardenia. The gardenia, it's a lot more pronounced, with the musk note already quite present in the middle. The gardenia and the musk, it is a very creamy blend. There are slight hints of jasmine, but this is not a very screechy floral. Without this ghost patchouli, it probably would have been this type of scent, but due to this earthy accord that I am getting from the fragrance, it is very well blended, it is grounded, the florals are not screaming, here I am. This is a pretty good fragrance for the price point. After having tried this, now I can understand why it is always sold out. I find this to be great value for the price point of 15 euros. And I also had Michelle, who is a friend of mine. She also loves perfumes. I had her try some of the classic perfumes, and Ekhtiari was also her favorite fragrance. This, it is modern, it is an everyday, you can say signature scent that you would just throw on and go. And this is one that you can dress up, dress it down. In terms of longevity, in terms of sillage. This is, I would put this the same as your Lancome or department store fragrances, where normally on average you get 5 to 6 hours. This one, it is a little bit stronger. However, it is not a very loud, overbearing fragrance. When I do come across a fragrance like this, which is so good for the price point, I am always happy to pass it along to you guys. So this one, it is a keeper. The next one that I do have, it is called Mazaaji. I did want to include this in part 1, but the video would have been too long, so I decided to keep this one on the side. And I mean, this is very standard packaging. It looks like the type of packaging that you get in the department store. It is not the over-the-top Lattafa packaging. And this is the bottle of Mazaaji. This bottle, I think it's even more beautiful than Ekhtiari, because this rose motif, I think it is rose and thorns. It is very nicely done. It does make the bottle look very expensive. So in terms of packaging, this is also beautiful. This one, in terms of notes, it has orange blossom in the opening, mandarin, and the heart, it's Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, and jasmine. And the base is vanilla, patchouli, amber, and sandalwood. This is a pretty easygoing fragrance. It is not as deep, you know, it is not as complex as Ekhtiari, but it is just pretty easy to wear. It is not offensive. It is what I would just say, it is a very pretty floral fragrance. Mazaaji, it opens with a bit of a citrus floral opening, and then also there are some musk accords. It is a bit citrus, but it has more floral. When this is sprayed, the rose aroma, it is already there, and also a bit of vanilla. I would say it is a linear fragrance, a blend. Typically what you get in the department store that you can wear to work, to do your shopping, non-offensive. What is different in this one? There is also a ghost note. When the fragrance transforms a bit and it settles, there is a hint of mango. It is a very, I would say, sweet mango aroma mixed in with the florals. And this note, it is also present in the dry down. When I started working with this and testing it, I kept saying there has to be a bit of mango in this scent, or some other maybe tropical fruit. I started looking at different websites to see if I can find maybe another build-up of notes for the composition, but it was all the same. There was no mango listed, but there's a nice little dose of mango in this one. It makes it a little bit more playful, more interesting. The heart of Mazaaji, it is floral rose, it is pretty. The longer the fragrance remains on the skin, the more this nice aromas of rose, they come out. However, the patchouli in here, I wouldn't say it is too strong. It keeps the fragrance from being too screechy floral. It does not make it too serious. It is also in the 15 to 20 euro price range, around there, and it is very good value. This one, the longevity and the projection, It is not as strong as Ekhtiari, however, it is still pretty good. I find this to be very beautiful, good value, and worth picking up. By the way, Mazaaji, this one debuted in 2020. The next one, this one, it is Lail Maleki. I will leave the names at the bottom. It came out in 2018 and it was marketed as a unisex fragrance. The bottle, it is quite pretty. When you have it in the hand, it's sturdy. There are some ridges on the side, and the top, it is similar to that of the Anna Abiet fragrances. This one, guys, it is leaning a bit more masculine. From all of these fragrances, this was the one I spent the most time with, because this was so difficult. When I first spray this, the first note which hits me, it's aldehyde, yeah? I do not mind aldehyde in fragrances. It amplifies it. It is a note that I like. However, it has a very, very strong soapy accord, and it reminds me of a fragrance in the mid-80s. It is pulling a bit dated. This was formulated, like I said, in 2018. It's supposed to be an oriental fragrance, but pretty much all I get in this is a soapy accord. And the price point at the moment, it is between 11 to 18 euros. I did pay, I think, 10 euros for this fragrance. I bought it from the Lattafa website. For me, this is really a fail. If you are someone who is diehard into soapy fragrances and you love them like conditioner, and you do not mind an aldehydic note which just amplifies this soapiness, then you would love this. It behaves also more like a cologne. Maybe this is more meant for men because it is pulling very masculine, but I am not sure if I would smell a man wearing this and say, oh, how delicious. But guys, when I don't like fragrances, I always tell you why. And very soapy fragrances tend to nauseate me. And this is really what bothers me here. The notes are listed as fruits, citrus, and spice. And the heart, it is jasmine, honey, and gardenia. And the base is musk and sandalwood. It is very hard to decipher the notes. It is just a very soapy accord with aldehydic notes. I mean, I could sense a bit of musk in the dry down, but this one, it is really a concoction. Honestly, this is the worst fragrance I have tried from Lattafa. It is really not for me. And like I said, it is just a soapy mess. So I am so sorry. You know, it is very seldom that I find a fragrance where I cannot find an aspect where I can say, okay, this is good, this is bad. The bottle, it's very pretty, but the juice, I can't recommend this. I am sorry. I did notice that there's a version of this fragrance now for women. The next one, it is called Hayaati, and it is from the Lattafa Oud collection. This one came out in 2020 and it's unisex, but to my nose it is leaning a bit more masculine. These are the minis that you can buy from Lattafa. They contain 20 milliliters. Hayaati is one which grew on me. When I first got this, it was leaning extremely masculine. It was very thin. I have had this since, I would say, end of summer, and it has gotten a bit better. Now I would say it is right in the middle, leaning a bit more masculine. And with this one, I have also seen that there is a female version. I do like Hayaati enough that I do want to pick up the female version of this scent. It is very beautiful, very aromatic, very fresh, and it never got stale. When Hayaati gets really into the heart note, this is where the floral starts to come out, and it starts to resemble a feminine fragrance, but the opening, it is very, very masculine. The notes are the top notes, apple and bergamot. It is a very fresh opening. The heart note, it is cinnamon and woody notes, but the cinnamon, it is already present, you know, right in the opening. You get this very fresh opening with a hint of spice. The base of Hayaati, it is musk and vanilla, but the scent, it remains very fresh, very, very fresh. So the vanilla barely comes out. It is more of, I would say, a musk dry down, and also the apple note in the opening, it is a very fresh green apple. It can pull a little bit artificial right when the fragrance is sprayed. However, this dissipates quite quickly, and the cinnamon note, it is not too strong, but it is there in the fragrance. This is a beautiful fragrance for men. My husband has tried this. He does like it because it is so clean and so fresh. It is not very overtly spicy. So I think this is a very nice one for the gentleman, or if you are someone who do not mind fragrances which are pulling more masculine. But with time, I did get to like it, especially when it is in the heart note. And it also does not have this cologne smell feel on the skin. It is just a very fresh fragrance. Another classic that I do like, I have had this for a while. This one, it is called Velvet Rose. This one came out in 2018. This is a very beautiful fragrance. It is complex, and it does remind me of Frédéric Malle's Portrait of a Lady. Actually, I do like this one a bit more because it is easier to wear. I do have a full review of Velvet Rose on my YouTube channel. This is a beautiful rose fragrance. It is a bit more complex. It does go through many stages, same as Portrait of a Lady from Frédéric Malle. It does have a nice pencil sharpener note, but it is not as strong as in Portrait of a Lady. And this is a very nice rose fragrance. I do like this one. Thank you guys for watching, and please let me know if you have some Lattafa classics that you think I should be looking at. Take care, have a lovely rest of day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hope to see you again soon on my channel. Tschüss!